And welcome back. Hope you're ready. We're diving straight into the library. We can't go back to the lighthouse or the shrine or the prisoner. Very well. It looks like there's still room down here for another dream, but it is also possible that the library is the end. I don't know. The library. A library containing every possible book in existence. While most of them are gibberish by the laws of probability, one of them should contain information on how to defeat Thomas. Oh, the irony. We set out to save him, but now we have to fight him. Well, this looks familiar. An old tent, its fabric torn by harsh winds and burned by the sun, weathered and tattered. Torn by the wind and barely holding up, I'll leave it be. An old worn backpack. There seems to be something inside. Good. Coffee thermos. It looks like it could have kept someone warm through the night. Nothing useful here. Not even a little piece of coal. I'm gonna have to take care of that myself. A tower. This tower reaches towards the sky and doesn't seem to end. That's the library of everything, I presume. The tower seems to stretch out forever. A path leads downhill and around the cliff toward the tower. I can't even go back now. Only way to go is forward. An entrance to the dark tower of the library of everything. There it is. Whoa, just look at this place. Okay, might as well start looking. Here's one. Open book on the floor. Whoa, just look at this place, Amy mumbled to herself as she crossed the sandy threshold of the library's doorway. The stone floor, partially covered with sand, quickly gave way to the wooden one. In front of her, there were two chests, possibly holding something of value. Amy looked around. The library was huge, and it was impossible to find what she was looking for on her own. She needed a librarian. This is going to be a long episode, I think. Box cutter. A bookshelf full of books of various shapes and sizes. There doesn't seem to be any particular order in which they are stored. In this book, all pages are blank, all but one. That one page contains information on Amelia's friend named Alex, who, with a faint smile on their face, got mauled by a bear on a submarine. Hazards of the trade, I guess. In its closing words, the story describes Douglas Corney, a CEO of Sidereal Plexus Corporation, who visits that place once every year to think back on those events. Why? This book doesn't have a cover. The slightly damaged pages tell about a talented sportswoman who, before waking up in a tent in the desert, got subjected to experiments run by researchers of a Sidereal Plexus Corporation in a small garden tool shed. It then turns out it was just a dream of a priest, who hoped the truth would never see the light of day. That's weird. This book doesn't have a cover. The slightly damaged pages tell about a fashion model who, knowing that was closed, found a tiger plushie on a quiet street in the suburbs. Can't allow this to ever happen again, said a convicted criminal, who had no idea you would someday read about it here. What? This is a based on facts novel about a pilot named Kate, who, feeling really angry, pulled a mysterious lever on board the spaceship. There is a very short mention of an alcoholic who went missing in orbit around Jupiter. Oh, there's a worker. I've seen this man before, I'm sure of it. Who is he? What does he want? Oh, it's him again. Hey, you there, be quiet. Remember, you're in the library. I've got diabetes. What? I didn't even say anything. You're too loud. What do you want? Told you, be quiet, don't make so much noise. It's a library, and you are way too loud. Fine. How about now? I'm whispering. Is that better? Are you happy now? You're still too loud, miss. Who are you? What do you mean? I'm a librarian. I work here. I don't understand why you are confused. No. Who are you really? I keep bumping into you. You look a bit different, but I remember you from the casino, from the train and the hotel, even my neighbor, who apparently was also a part of the dream. Miss, you are really confused. Please calm yourself and most importantly, be quiet. It is a library. You have to be quiet. For your own safety. For my own what? Okay, so there's something dangerous here. This book seems to start in the middle, and while you can't find the first half of the story, you read about a video game producer who, with a wide mad grin, got completely lost at a construction site. Next paragraph says, don't miss the next issue, and proceeds to tease the continuation of the story, describing a night shift janitor who, involved in the events, got stuck in a time loop. None of these make any sense. It's like they're the beginning and ending of two different stories. It's an issue of Weekly Conspiracy, a magazine for crazy conspiracy theorists. This issue focuses on the story of an experienced school teacher who, against all odds, threw a rock down the hill, causing a landslide that swallowed the whole town before ending at a bus stop. I hope you're happy now, smirked an old wise man, who shook his head in disbelief. This book has yellowed pages and a creased frayed cover. It's a story about a pilot named Kate, who, armed with a sharp axe, made friends with a small frog at a bus stop. It was apparently written by a glasses-wearing man named Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy! Who visits that place once every year to think back on those events. It's a folded newspaper. On the first page, there is an article about an old limping dog who, after winning the lottery, couldn't stop laughing on the move. Next line reads, 1 week earlier, the story portrayed a casino worker who recorded everything with a handheld VHS camera. It's a horror story about a living machine who, full of remorse but unable to control the chain of events, fell down the well to end up on board of a bus. Next, it simply touches on a glasses-wearing man named Jeremy, who is just an unimportant background character. It's an issue of Weekly Conspiracy, a magazine for crazy conspiracy theorists. This issue focuses on the story of a girl named Felicity, who, feeling an imminent werewolf transformation, threw a rock down the hill, causing a landslide that swallowed the whole town before ending on board of bus. The story then follows an obscure video game developer who didn't understand the gravity of the situation. To him, what occurred was a mundane reality. It's an electrical engineering handbook. Weirdly, In the chapter about calculating the resistance of a parallel circuit, it warns against a person looking just like you, who, while chewing on something disgusting, caused an explosion in an old farmhouse by a sleepy village. The story then drastically changes its tone to show the puppet master, who broke an arm while trying to recreate those events. Okay, there's a lot of weird elements in each story. I figure we need to find the master librarian to learn about what we're supposed to do. A painting on a cliffside with frigid snow on one side and green glass on the other. Oh. Picture of a green hill slope with a bright lake or sea on the right side. Picture of some tall icy mountains. A cold landscape with sand on the left side and snow on the right side. There is the moon overhead. Wait, is it cracked in half? A painting of a lighthouse by a beach. The sea is dark and angry. The sky looks empty and unnatural. Somehow, it all looks all too familiar. A painting. Picture of a wolf or a large dog on a snowy hill. Somehow, it looks familiar. Okay, so we have to order the paintings, I guess, to open the passage here. But we don't know the order. Let's look around some more. I'd like to find a map. I don't have a lot of weapons. Maybe we'll avoid him for now. Locked. There's a skeleton, bone, and a backpack. Okay, so we're all set up in terms of coffee. Oh, map. Okay, this is helpful. Let's get a crowbar. Face hidden behind a mask, body wrapped in cloth. Tall, silent, focused solely on causing pain. Didn't drop anything. Okay. Let's check out this way. Oh! Surprised us. Oh, there's someone here. A librarian, busy browsing books. Hey, you there. Huh? You're in the library. If you have not noticed, no running, but also no shouting. And most importantly, no whistling. That's a theater rule. Most importantly, no food or drinks. But also no whistling. I'll do my best, librarian. Just librarian. Not even the librarian. That would be quite arrogant, don't you think? I don't know, baby. Who am I to judge? Now, that being said, welcome to the library of everything, Amy. Are you looking for something in particular? How do you know my name? Oh, so is this the first time we meet? Forgive me, linear thinking is not something I'm really used to. I'm confused, but this shouldn't really surprise me at this point. So we've met, but I don't remember it? You don't remember it yet, or maybe it was some other version of you. Either way, I don't meet many people here, and the ones I meet, I end up remembering. Do you know what the Guardians are? Dream Guardians? Of course. I'm pretty sure I have a book about them somewhere here. I was actually wondering if you're familiar with a Guardian named Tutu. Oh yeah, I know them. One of the old ones. Good person, diligent and conscientious. Has a unique fashion sense. Why do you ask about Tutu? Tutu killed my brother. I mean, the shadow people got to him first. Tutu then severed the connection between the mind and body. Ah yes, this is heartbreaking. Being a guardian is not always easy, I presume. If Tutu didn't cut the connection, it would rot and break on its own. But then, the shadow that possessed your brother would be completely free to roam in his body, while your brother would be reduced to a similar dark, faceless creature. I think he already became one, or was becoming one. The severance caused Thomas to become who he is now, but nobody seems to know why. It saddens me that I cannot help you there. Sometimes the force of evil just strikes when least expected, and where it hurts the most. That being said, what is done is done. One chapter ends, another begins. You mentioned the old ones, as in the old guardians? Yes, back in the day, way in the past, things were a bit different. People had to believe in many things to explain what science could have not explained to them yet. Similarly, they asked for help, believing the same beings that were used to explain thunderstorms and sunrises would also come to their aid in need. You know the power of the human mind in this realm. No wonder the need for guardians conjured them into existence. Quite funny if you think about it. Believing ancient gods created humans when it was the other way around all along. But those days are gone. For better or worse. People can explain the universe much better now, but they are still far from the truth on so many fronts. Nevertheless, they believe less. And so, not as many guardians come into existence anymore. If they do, they are mostly more personal, smaller and weaker, in the form of children's toys, for instance. Because children believe in their toys saving them. Like the plushie. I've met another librarian. And what is odd about that? I said I'm a librarian, not the librarian. You couldn't have expected an infinite library with just one librarian. I don't know what I expected. I thought you might be like the main librarian, a shift manager. A shift manager. You know what, Amy? I like you. You seem completely lost, yet sometimes you say something that's just on point. Aha! So I was right. In that case, can you do anything about him? He's not really very cooperative. Oh, what did he do? Nothing, that's the problem. He just keeps saying I should be more quiet. In that case, I think you should listen to him. We're in a library, remember that. Yes, but it's not that I'm shouting or anything. Yes, but did you actually try to make everything completely quiet? I tried whispering. You can still be loud when whispering, you know. I'm sure you'll figure it out, Amy. Now, is there anything else? I'm looking for my brother, Thomas. Oh my. So this is that version of you. I'm so sorry, Amy. Wait, what? What do you mean? Nothing. Forget I said anything. I find that rather difficult. So if you can, please elaborate. Okay, Amy, there is no easy way of saying this. What your brother has become is an uncomfortable situation for everyone here, not just the ones directly involved. Death would be a salvation for Thomas right now. Delivering it would be a release not just for him, but for the entire realm. And this is an obligation I would not want to wish on anyone, especially his sister. My brother died. This echo of his. I'll do what's needed to put it to rest. I'm here to find out how I can do it. Perhaps you came to the right place then. Maybe I can help you find a way. Whatever you do, keep in mind, erasing his echo might not be the only outcome. What do you mean? What else can I do? I'm a librarian, Amy. I can point your way to a book. Opening and reading it is your job. So not only are many people accessing the same place in their sleep, but also different worlds, different realities, as if things weren't complicated enough. The places where the fabric of reality can be shaped by the human mind are also the places where this fabric is the thinnest. And there are an infinite number of them. That's why you need an endless library to keep all those stories, Amy. If there are infinite versions of me and Thomas, how does all of this have any meaning? Realities influence each other, sometimes converging, sometimes splitting as they go. None of them are irrelevant, and each of them has some meaning. And this one should mean the most for you because it's the only one that's yours. You mentioned you could help me. I have to defeat Thomas. Yes. As a librarian, I can point you to a book worth reading. That's a figure of speech, right? No, quite literally. This is a library with all the answers, all the stories. Things that happened, that will happen, that could happen. Things that never happened and will never happen. The library has it all. You just need to know where to look. If it has all the stories, including things that never happened and will never happen, what good can it do for me? Why should I care about things that could not and will not happen? This is why I want to point you to the book containing the right story, Amy. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but just like a certain guardian, you all talk in riddles, instead of just telling me where I need to go and what I need to do. Why can't you just tell me how I defeat Thomas? If it only was that simple. But think, Amy. How could I possibly know every story in this library? It's impossible to memorize every book. If you have an infinite amount of them, it's impossible to memorize every book if you have an infinite amount of them. But I know where you can find the book that you need. Your brother is untouchable. Nothing can harm him. He cannot be defeated directly. You know it, and so does he. Yet there is another way. And that way is described in the book you mentioned. Precisely. Alas, your brother knows this book exists, and while he can't destroy it, he made sure it's well secured. Secured. He couldn't destroy it because of the nature of this place, right? Because it always contains a book about every possible version of events. So there is probably a book about how he tried to destroy that other book, but also that other book will still exist. I must say this is giving me a headache. And yet you seem to understand it perfectly. I mean perfectly for a being with perception of merely 5 dimensions. 4 dimensions to be exact. Details! Regardless, the book. Come closer, I will give you something that you need to get to it. A key. I was expecting, I don't know, something less obvious. Is the book behind the door opened with his key? No. There we go, I knew it. The book is kept away, like I said. Your brother doesn't want you to get it. But it is not impossible. The key will lead you to a place where you can get a full picture. So Thomas knows about the library. He has been here. Yes, he visited, leaving some of his chaos as you have, or will witness yourself. How did he know about this place? He had been here even before his unfortunate transformation. See, the library isn't as hidden as you might think. Sometimes people that are looking for answers or alternate solutions to problems find it in their dreams. Thomas had been to the library without even knowing what it really was. Unfortunately, it led to him returning here later with more sinister intent. That being said, I strongly believe you can stop him, maybe. You've got what it takes. Thanks for everything. Don't mention it. Until next time. Okay, I will admit, I'm very confused. I'm not sure what we need to do. Oh. Bookshelf with a missing book? It's not the only book that's missing in the entire library for sure, but it seems to be the only one so far that is so blatantly missing. One book is missing. There is something in the back of the empty space on the bookshelf. The rule of threes, the missing pieces, turning points of space and time, the only guide to our own world. A duck, a gopher, and a snake. Okay, so we need a book that has a little triangle thing. Let's keep that in mind. I mean, I'm not going to stop running just because he wants me to. I don't have all day. Not quite what I expected. Aha! It's the painting. Okay, let's have some coffee. 18. Yeah. Okay. Let's get some painkillers. Let's get this guy. Here's hoping for lucky. Nope. Okay, lucky this time. Good, it was a crit. Now, let's try and figure this out. I think we're supposed to be looking for a book that mentions something about silence. Okay, nothing here about silence. Hmm. Okay, so it shows us a different book every time we examine each bookshelf. So that's just a waste of time, then. We're not going to find anything. We're not going to find out anything there. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Yeah? Hello? Excuse me? Oh no. No, 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 no. Ah. Okay. So the game crashed, but it seems it saved right before I entered the room. Thank goodness. So let's get back to it. My thought process was we just need to put the paintings so that they match each other and form a single picture. As it turns out, I was overthinking it at first. There's no hidden message in any of the books in the library. There we go. A book left by someone on the floor. It might be important. Or, on the contrary, might be completely usual. It's difficult to judge. Really, after all, you shouldn't do that by the cover. Well, let's take a look. Mysticism of Dreams. Key to Success. Small Talk at the Back of Beyond. Golden Statue and Lumpy Lump of Coal. Lucky and the Lucky Lump of Coal. On the cover, there is a picture of a golden statue, a kneeling knight or a soldier armed with a sword. No idea why a lump of coal would be considered lucky by anyone. The golden statue. The golden statue and the lucky lump of coal briefly describes the principle of all that glitters is not gold. Not everything that looks or feels important actually ends up holding any value to us. In hindsight, so is this book. Okay, let's check out the others. A Small Talk at the Back of Beyond, a heavy book by someone called Eldak. It seems to be a sci-fi novel. A Small Talk at the Back of Beyond is a novel about a lonely spaceship's computer that, doomed to die, tries to deceive the last remaining crew member into staying on board, desperate to keep them around, not to die alone. When the truth comes out, the astronaut has to make a choice. Take a very slim chance of survival alone, or stay with the conscious computer in their last moment. Interesting. Sorry, had to stop recording for a bit. Got a phone call. The Key to Success. This looks like one of those psychology or self-improvement books. Sometimes you're holding a key to your success right before your eyes, yet you fail to see it. Have you ever faced a problem seemingly without a solution, only to discover it was in your hands the whole time? If so, this book might be for you. We can't promise you will find the key right away, but we will help you turn things around in the right direction. This isn't an ordinary book. All the pages seem to be glued together, and the cover, I think I can push something here. Ah, interesting. Okay, let's not do that just yet. The Mysticism of Dreams. A dusty old book entitled The Mysticism of Dreams. It seems to be very spiritual in nature. Recurring nightmares are often considered to be something more than just a dream. There are more than several documented cases of nightmares actually coming true, which suggests they can be treated as sort of warnings. A prophetic dream doesn't have to perfectly come to fruition. More often than not, the dream is a metaphor, a projection of the unconscious mind that has come in contact with information about events that are yet to happen. How is it possible, one may ask? This question remains unanswered. We live in a world ruled by science and dominated by technology, yet there are some mystical things lie underneath the veil of reality that control our lives to a degree much higher than you, dear reader, could ever imagine. Whatever the case may be, remember that dreams are more than they seem. Just like not understanding physics doesn't make it less real, the fact we don't fully comprehend dreams doesn't render them irrelevant. Right. Let's go back to where the book was missing. Yep, all the way up there. I'm not gonna stop running. Just get used to it, man. There's no one else here, anyway. Let's take a look. See? Okay, so triangle pointing that way. Sort of twisted triangle. This one has to be this way. This one has to be this way. And yeah, I guess this way. I don't really get the top one. Ah, there we go. Right, none of this matters. A bag? A bag seems to be stacked up with something other than books. Oh, two of them. No, thank you. A stack of books. A stack of seemingly random books lay on the table. The Eighth Wonder of the World, the Seven Deadly Sins, Devil of the Pentagram, the Four Seasons, the Holy Trinity. A crown statue. A statue of a king wearing a crown. Without a crown, the king is just some person like any other. There is something written on this plaque. Looking down upon the kingdom, the crown bearer sets the rules, bringing order in his wisdom, guided by the shining jewels. A shiny golden crown with rows of even shinier gems, an adornment of a true ruler. Okay, so blue, green, red, purple, orange. I think this is right. Blue, green, red, purple, orange. Well, technically, the top two books are sort of beige and yellow. Ah, okay. Maybe we... No, we can't replace the book. Dang. Okay. Now what? We can't put it back on. I think the order is right, so I don't get it. Hmm. Maybe it's the opposite. Nope, nothing happened. I'm stumped. Oh, I missed something here. Briefcase. Just a knife. Okay. So this doesn't really help us. Hmm. Maybe it's something else about the gems. Maybe it's their size. So the smaller ones are the red ones, then the green, then the purple. Not so sure about the blue and orange. Red, green, purple. I am completely stumped on this one. No idea. I'm not missing anything else. This is frustrating.